Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Spooky Reviews from Spooky Ventures. I'm Gary Hill, and I'm both your host and your reviewer. This is our 202nd episode, and this time around I'm looking at a Blu-ray release of a movie called The Last Frankenstein. Now, this film from 2021 is obviously a low-budget outing, so it needs to be taken as a true indie and not judged against Frankenstein films from big outfits like Universal or Hammer. As such, this hits on some things and misses on some others. Let's start with where it misses. The story is slow. It focuses too much on long dialogue sections. Another problem with those dialogue sections is that a lot of it just doesn't feel like real conversations these characters are having. It feels more like someone is reading a philosophy or scientific thesis out loud. Now, before I get to the good stuff, I should mention one little silly thing. When I was watching the movie, I kept expecting Scooby-Doo to show up because the actor playing Jason Frankenstein, William Barnett, looks so much like Shaggy to me. So what does this movie get right? Well, to me, the real monster in Frankenstein is Dr. Frankenstein because he's a very flawed person who does some really horrible things. They really up the ante on that here. Jason Frankenstein seems like a total sociopath. He's actually an absolute monster. Now, that said, the creature here, and actually there are two different creatures in this movie, is also completely monstrous. There's no compassion in that character either. Both creatures seem to just kill for no other reason than to kill. I'm not sure if that's a positive or negative. I should add that even children and animals are not safe here. We also get several other horrible people in the mix as well. It's hard to find a sympathetic character in the film, really. The only sympathetic characters are some of the victims, and even then, some of those characters are kind of horrible too. One thing this movie really nails, and this might be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your taste, is gore. There are some really brutal kills, and they don't hold back on the gore. Imagine the gore level of the Hammer Frankenstein movies and then multiply it by 50. Personally, I thought it was a good touch, but you might disagree with that. Overall, I'd say that this movie has some real issues, but also some definite charms. It has a tendency to be slow, but it's also unsettling, and it made me think in ways that the novel makes many think. The disc is loaded with bonus material, but the outtakes was the one that really had the most appeal for me. So overall, if you come into this with the right expectations, this is definitely not a perfect film. You are likely to find some things to enjoy about it. It is worthwhile. Spooky Ventures is the home for spooky content and spooky merchandise on the web. Check it out today at spookyventures.com. And remember, always keep it spooky.